I think I have the best t-shirt for this video. Warrior, not warrior. Hello wolves, what's up? So today I'm going to talk about Ash Princess by Sebastian. I got this book in my April ShelfLove Crate box, so I already finished it, so I'm already ready to talk about it. So first, the plot. So this is a story of Theodosia, who was kept captive for 10 years in her own palace, so where she grew up actually. So her country was invaded and her mother, the Fire Queen, was murdered before her eyes. So from that moment she was kept captive by the Kaiser, who took everything from her, like her country, her lands, her home, her mother, her family, love, everything. So she was kept captive and they called her Ash Princess. She was abused but always kept alive just because the Kaiser wanted her to remind herself that she was alive just because he wanted her to be, and because he wants her to be like a trophy that he can show to everyone just so she can feel ridiculous and powerless and alone. So she basically buried her true self for 10 years, but one day the Kaiser will make her do the unthinkable. So she will have blood on her hands and she will start to think about stuff and realize that surviving is just no longer enough. She has to do something and she has to save her people. So this is a YA 100% fantasy. Yeah, it's a very readable book and entertaining, and I love the cover. Like, it's actually orange, it's not yellow. It's a 433 books. I read it in less than 2 days. So I really enjoyed it. I mean, it was entertaining from halfway through, something like that. And I gave it a 3 out of 5, and I'm gonna explain why. So as I said, it's a YA that's very readable, but plot and character-wise, it's so similar to other books you probably have read already. So it's basically, yeah, the same. A princess who lost a throne, reclaim her throne, and she's gonna do it with the help of a rebellion happening underground. And yeah, there is a love triangle. You know me. I mean, if you've been watching my videos, you know that's one of my bookish pet peeves. I hate it even more than Insta love. Or maybe not. Maybe I hate Insta love more. Yeah, I hate Insta love more than love triangles, but still. So yeah, this book talks about rebellion, stolen throne, but also slaves, abuse, rapes, and everything. As much as this book is fast-paced and was really a page-turner, it was full of awkwardness just because it was similar to so many other books. But also because I found the first 200 pages emotionless, and maybe the author did it on purpose because Theo was an entertaining slave, so she was broken and empty, so she didn't really feel anything. She was just acting the way she was supposed to. And yeah, maybe that's the reason. I can understand, but still I missed something. Yeah, the story was really lacking in emotion, but maybe that's just because Theo was empty. I don't know. She has been hiding a true self for 10 years, so I can understand it's empty. But then why would the world building be so poor? I mean, I cannot picture anything in it. I know she lives in a kind of castle, I guess, and there is sea nearby, but that's all I know. I cannot picture a room. I cannot picture anything actually. No, and I really miss that. I really love that in other books. So that's maybe why I feel like it was an empty book and emotionless, and that I don't know. It was lacking so many stuff. I love to feel what characters feel in the story. You know, feel wind in my hair. I don't know, the sea on my feet. I don't know, I was just missing this, and I think it's very important for a book. You know, especially a fantasy book. You want to travel, you want to feel engaged, you want to be in it, you want to be a part of it. And if you don't picture anything, if you don't know where the main character lives and the surrounding, you just like, you don't feel engaged, you don't feel connected. After the 200 first pages, I started to feel what Theo was feeling, like angry and loneliness even in the book, like Theo has only one friend, Cress, who's actually the daughter of the man who killed Theo's mother. So the relationship was really weird. For me, Cress was a perfect example of pity, jealousy, selfishness, all the bad thing a friend can be. They had a really weird relationship, but that's also maybe because they didn't have a mother, so they kind of related through that. It was still unnatural for me, but that's maybe how you can understand and read about the fact that Theo is kind of battling inside her. She doesn't know what to do, she doesn't know who she is, she doesn't know what way to act or everything. So you can feel like with this unnatural relationship that she's totally broken and lost. Theo is a real name. They all call her by another name, Tora. And you can easily understand that she's battling inside all the time because she's constantly reminded of what she lost and that she's actually nothing anymore. And that's super sad. So yeah, I didn't like Cress and I'm not gonna talk more about her. So Theo is a slave. She's empty, she's broken, she's helpless, she's powerless. She's everything that's lacking, I wanna say. She never acts as Asturian, so her people, but as a Calovaxian, the people who invaded her land. That's maybe why it was so difficult for me to connect with her, to feel engaged, to feel like bad for her, anything, because she wasn't acting one way or another. She was like totally lost and doing whatever she was supposed to do, so I didn't feel like I wanted to help her. She basically was doing what she was supposed to do in order to survive. That's pretty much it. But what I really liked about her is that even if she's super like powerless and everything, she knew when to smile and how to smile. She knew what to say at what point, what moment, etc. So she was still aware of the fact that she was basically a slave. So it's full of triggers, so racism, rape. There is no description of rape, but you know it's happening. And killing, war, humiliation, rebellion, beating, with actual a lot of description for that one. It's very dark, but actually I like that. I love better when it's darker because it made the story more realistic than when everything is like happily ever after. It was dark but still emotionless. Well, talking about emotionless, yeah, there was a love triangle. And for once in my life, I really did understand why she will fall for both of the guy. But still, I didn't really care who she will end up with, and I really don't care about this trope I'm not falling for. So one of the guy, it was insta love, insta romance. The other one, it was like feeling like she was home or something. Even if I didn't like it, it was a readable love triangle actually. I cannot believe I just said that. And especially with all the abuse, it's not always easy to read about it, but with a simple writing, it was okay. And even with all the not so positive kind of thing I just said, I was hooked from page 200. So it's only 433 pages, I believe, so it was like halfway through. But still, I was hooked at the end and I really was engaged at that point. And I want this review to stay spoiler-free. With this ending and this cliffhanger, I have honestly high hopes for the next one. I really think the next one will be a masterpiece. You can be sure that I'm gonna read the next one. And the next one is coming in spring 2019, I believe. Another thing that I loved about this book is that the author, Laura Sebastian, put some German words in the story, so for someone who speaks several languages, I really appreciate that. And also the pirate vibes at the end, I loved it. I think I realized a little while ago that I was really into pirate kind of thing, so if you have any suggestion, please comment down below. I also really love that magic in this book wasn't the main thing in the story, but you know from the beginning that magic will play a role, an important role in it. And the fact that there is no plenty of explanation about it made it more intriguing. You only know that you can have magic if you were blessed by gods, and that's it. and they're coming from mine because there is a kind of magical energy there that touch the gems and everything, so that's all we know. And I also loved all the hidden kind of moral questions that the author put in the story. Just for an example, the magic in it, so you have to be blessed by a god to get some magic in you, which leads the characters to question themselves if the gods are real. And if they're real, how could they let their people be enslaved? Is there also really an after? And can you blame someone for being raised one way and that they've been raised with killing as a normal thing? So yeah, nothing original, but I really enjoyed it. I give it a 3 stars or 3 out of 5 just because for me it was like emotionless and there were no world building. I really miss more of the description, but also the fact that it's about revenge. I'm really a fan of. I love revenge kind of story, and I think it's going to be a trilogy, so I really have high hopes for the second one. I can't wait to read because with this ending, I'm sure, I don't know, the book promised me at the end that it's going to be awesome. Yeah, books talk to me. I'm not crazy. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed the review, and yeah, if you have any pirate story that you would like to recommend to me, please comment down below. If you want to say anything about this little one, feel free as well. Thank you for watching, wolves. See you soon. Take care. Bye.